Liverpool will face competition for Semenyo by a title rival over the years gone by. Has the pressure on Arne Slot been eased after a massive win against West Ham yesterday? And also, Liverpool are interested in a rival player, a Merseyside rival player. People, it's Monday morning, so you know what that means. You get to sit here and listen to me for the next 25 to 30 minutes. It's the morning meetup show. Sit back, relax. Let's get into this.
Hi, this is Jordan Henderson, and you're watching Team Kop-ish.
Main free back again, ripping LFC to the end, so go on tell a friend. If they rockin' red, they're a 10 champions, we the best, we come again. Kop-ish clean up in every region, elevation in every season. Catch up in all the fast match up in real rap and drifty quan tell them this is that, this is that. This is Kopish, this is Kopish. Reppin' Liverpool to the end, champions, we the best, come again. This is that, this is Kop-ish, this is Kop-ish. The main free back up in your screen, real ones know this the place to be. This is Kop-ish.
Good morning, lovely people. Hope you're all well and welcome back to Team Kopish. As always, do smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel as well, please, guys. But we've got to start by shouting out our sponsor, okjersey.com. £15 for a football jersey, guys. Like, we know how much football shirts cost and we just can't afford it. With Christmas coming up, guys, maybe you could treat yourself, treat a loved one, treat the kids to some shirts from OK Jersey, whether it's this season's kits, last season's, or kits from yesteryear, retro kits, training tracksuits, training t-shirts, training tops. We've got it all at okjersey.com. And for a further 8% off to save you a little bit of money this Christmas, use the promo code Kopish, Kopish, no hyphen. That is Kopish, and you get a further 8% off. And speaking of jerseys, guys, you know how we start the show on a Monday, a little bit of shirt association. So I'm going to hold up a shirt, see what you guys think, and I want you to tell me the first player that comes to mind when you see this shirt. Not one of our best, but this one, guys. This is from the 2012-13 season, a Warrior kit. So it's 2012-2013, if I'm not mistaken. I'm almost certain it is. Let me know who and what you think about this kit. Who's the first person that comes to mind? Clark, I'm going to sort that out right now, bro. Just bear me one sec while people get their thoughts in the comment section. I know who I think of. I'm going to see if anyone says the same as me. You know, there are some names here. You guys are goated, man. There are some names in here. All right, Clark, you should be all good now. So let me know if you're all good, Clark, but you should be all good now. All right, let's get through some of these names then. Okay, so I'm seeing Kolo Toure. Aspas didn't play in this kit, guys. Aspas played in the kit after this one in 13-14. Suarez is a shout, obviously. Coutinho, obviously. Gerrard, yep. Sturridge, yep. Sturridge second half of the season. Barini, yikes. Stuart Downing, yep. Andre Wisdom's a throwback. Barini. Mane never played in this one. John Conway. Big up yourself as always, John. Joe Allen. Yep. Kolo Toure. Yeah, this is for the real guys who know their ball. John Joe Shelby's a shout as well. Sterling, yes. Martin Skirtle. Carragher, yes. This was the last football shirt that Carragher wore for Liverpool as a player. RTV says, Cal, people are still saying Aspas because his corner still haunts us. Yeah. You'll never walk alone 73. This wasn't the season we beat Arsenal 5-0. It was the following season. So the Warrior kit had sort of like a V-neck shape and it had red and white. Big up yourself, Clark. Should be all good now, bro. The person that I first think of when I see this kit is actually Joe Allen. And it's because I remember Brendan Rodgers speaking when we signed him saying that this is the Welsh Xavi. And it's always wound me up to this day. And look, I'm not even sitting there like trying to say bad things about Joe Allen. I really like Joe Allen. I was actually a little bit upset when we sold him because I thought at the time when we sold him, he was actually finding some good form under Klopp and looking quite good. But yeah, some of the things that Brendan Rodgers said about Joe Allen did wind me up. I'm not going to lie, guys. And yeah, it's one of the reasons why I think it was the right move to move on from Brendan Rodgers and bring in Jurgen Klopp. And the rest is history because look how many things we won under the Kaiser. But yeah, that's for me. Yeah, some throwback names there, man. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about Andre Wisdom. That's a big shout. Yeah, man, some big names. Big up to you guys, man. The Kopish community is goated as always. Right, let's get into the topics. Anton Semenyo has been linked heavily to a move to Liverpool Football Club over the last few weeks, over a month now. And with news coming out that he had a £65 million release clause that becomes active in January and then even lower in the summer, everyone's saying, look, just go and get it done. We need attacking reinforcements. We need new wingers. And he's been one of the best performing wingers in the league thus far. Plus, from a attribute perspective, pace, strength, eye for goal, pressing, tackling, he ticks a lot of the boxes as to what many of us want as a Liverpool wide player. However, as life goes, when you're looking at top players, it seems as though other teams will look at said top players. And one of the teams that are looking at him is Manchester City. Now, we all know Manchester City, they have a good eye for a player, if we're going to be honest. They signed some very, very good players. And they apparently are on the lookout for Anton Semenyo. And even Paul Joyce says Manchester City are considering triggering Anton Semenyo's £65 million release clause in January. Liverpool have also been linked, although they had not planned to enter the winter transfer window after spending more than £400 million on signings in the summer. Right. Where do we go from this one? So I'm going to sit here and tell you I rate Semenyo, but I would also be lying to you guys, and there's so much tape on me saying it. I don't think he's the be-all and end-all for wide players. Now, shout out to Enz. Enz is a massive, massive fan of Semenyo, as is Jamie, as is Drifty. Big up to Jamie, big up to Drifty as well. And you look at Semenyo's versatility, but you also look at what someone like Man City and the Pep Guardiola could do with him. If Doku's not on the pitch, they don't really have that direct player, that direct winger in the team. Now, Shirky's a very direct player, but you wouldn't say he's a winger as such, whereas Semenyo is. So if Doku's not playing, you could go with Semenyo. But if you wanted two direct wingers, you could have Doku and Semenyo on the pitch at the same time. Now, Semenyo can be direct, but he's not as consistent as the other two. Maybe this shows that City might be willing to sell Semenyo and then bring in Semenyo as a replacement. They were very close to potentially selling Semenyo in the summer as well to Tottenham. It's going to be very interesting to see how this one plays out. For me personally, I'd be upset if Semenyo went to City because he's strengthening a rival, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I think there are other options out there. I do think someone like a Rodrigo, shout out to Jade Activist, who is 100% going to jump into the comments and cuss me off for this, or he might even DM me and cuss me. But big up to Jade Activist. But someone like a Rodrigo, I mean, I don't think it's impossible to get Rafael Leao. Shout out to LFC, Eki Teki. I don't think we can get Elise in January, but I would like us to try for him in the summer. Fraz, I understand Rodrigo hasn't scored 30 games, but I think the context there is that he's barely been playing. Big up to our brother George as well from Durack Diaries for the raid. Big up yourself, George. Hope you are well, bro. Shout out to Mantis, Barcola. We were linked with Barcola the other day as well. So there are other players. Malik Fofana, shout out to A9. There are other players out there we can go and get. So I don't think it's the be all and end all, personally, for me anyway. But top quality player would be over the moon if we signed Semenyo, and then we'll go from there. But City could easily go and get him. Yan Diamonde, shout out to Esjot as well. He's been absolutely ripping up the German league since the start of this season. Very direct as well, can play left and right. So there are wingers out there. Yildiz, shout out to Ash. You guys are goated, man. Yildiz is brilliant. Antonio Nusa is extremely good at dribbling and getting into the final third and is very direct. There are so many wingers out there that I don't think he's the be all and end all. Shout out to Martin as well. Says Minter. Although Minter plays on the right hand side, again, I'd be over the moon if you sign Minter as well. There are wingers out there, guys. So I don't think. Look, I understand we have preferences of players. Look, I'm still a massive Kvaratskhelia fan. And I was devastated that he went to PSG as opposed to Liverpool. But ultimately, there are other wingers out there. And I know Drift, Jay, Enns will be furious if he was to go to Man City as opposed to come to Liverpool. But I don't think it's the end of the world. Now, I may be proven wrong. He might go City and go up a level, and we're sitting there going, what did we do? Why have we gone and given City another weapon to their arsenal? But I think we can find someone else who could replicate what we need to do. So, yeah, that's my opinion on it. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section, guys, about that philosophy of mine and the potential scenario. Right, moving on to our gaffer, Arne Slot, who got a massive win yesterday against West Ham. Now, I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. I've not watched the game yet. I'll be watching the game throughout the day today. As all of you know, Monday is my busiest day in terms of filming and everything, but I will have a little bit of time today to go back and watch the game, hopefully before the Monday night live show. Obviously, I wasn't able to do my little 10-minute video after the game as well, which is annoying because we haven't won in ages. The time we win, I didn't even get to watch the game, and I didn't get to do the review on it. But I want to ask you guys, is the pressure eased on Arne Slot? And I want to shout out to the fans as well. And again, I know it's easy for me to sit here and go, look, I want to change in manager, and I want us to be more ambitious as a club. But at the same time, I will say there was a specialness about our club whereby the fans were sitting there and they were cheering Arne Slot's name at the end of the game and supporting the boys. And I will always say this, even though I'd like us to move on from Arne Slot, I don't want him to be disrespected. I don't want him to be like abused or anything like that. And look, while he's here, we absolutely support him. We have to support him. He's part of the cloth. He's part of the club. We have to support him. And it was a nice touch from the traveling fans to do that. However, that being said, I don't know if the pressure has been eased yet. The table looks a bit nicer in terms of we're a bit closer. Arsenal dropped points, although I'm still not looking at Arsenal. City picked up 3 points. But the pressure isn't off. And we have a massive game against Sunderland. A massive game. And that's going to be a really, really tough game. I think people might be sleeping on how difficult that game might actually be. That's going to be a really tough game. And we have to be about it in that game. Because if we're not, Sunderland could really do some damage. So, this is so funny. Shout out to Ajiha, who says, in the dizzying heights of 8th place. Yeah, that's crazy, man. If you told me at the beginning of the season that in December we'd be 8th in the league, I think I'd have probably passed out from shock. Yeah, man. I don't know. But the Sunderland game is going to be a very, very tough game. And look, I don't think Slot's out of the situation yet. Did he make a big call in putting Salah on the bench yesterday? Yes. But who's to say he doesn't go straight back to Salah for the Sunderland game at Anfield? It's a really tricky one. Obviously, Wirtz looked really good yesterday from what I've been hearing. Isak took his goal well, but apparently still wasn't great. Gakpo again scored and got an assist, but again, people still weren't really happy with his performance. People weren't happy with Szoboszlai playing on the right. people from what I've seen have been really happy with Joe Gomez playing at right back, and look what a difference it makes when someone who actually has played right back in their career actually plays right back and plays to a good level. Apparently Konate and Virgil were more solid. Apparently Kirkes was better. I've heard mixed reviews about Gravenmack, whether they work together, whether they don't. Again, I'm only going off based off what I've seen in WhatsApp groups and online, so I can't be used as the mouthpiece for this situation. But I'm over the moon. Liverpool won. Like, you have no idea. I think people hear me say I want a change of management and think, oh, Callum must want Liverpool to lose so he can get his wish. Absolutely not. I want Liverpool to win every single game. Remember, I'm the guy on here that says I want Liverpool to win friendlies and community shields and stuff like that. I want Liverpool to win every single game. If Liverpool are playing a game of cards against another team, I want Liverpool to win. It's just the way I am. So I'm over the moon with the win. I hope things start to change from here. I still have my reservations. I still have my reservations on a slot. But again, I've always sat here and said I'd love to be proven wrong. And look, we can get at him when he loses, but one thing we shouldn't be doing is getting at him when he wins. We got to hold the same energy. And he got a win yesterday. From what I was told, we were a lot better defensively. We were a lot better structured, a lot better set up. And that's all we asked for. So we got to be fair and we got to be objective, guys. If we win, we got to praise the manager. If we lose, then he deserves criticism. So we will see what happens in the coming weeks and coming months with Arne Slot and Liverpool Football Club. Right, on to the next topic, guys. And this is a bit of a weird one, especially considering how the player responded. So Ndiaye, who plays for Everton, our Merseyside rivals, has been linked with a move to Man City, Liverpool, and I think the other team might have been Manchester United or Man City. And then he saw this and on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken, responded to the tweet with the eyes emoji. Now, firstly, if I'm an Everton fan, I'm like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? Don't do that again. But then again, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I see this as a non-story. Everyone will tell you I'm a massive Branthwaite fan. I think Branthwaite is potentially England's future best centre-back. I know he suffered from injury this season, but I rate Branthwaite highly. But there's no way Everton are going to sell to Liverpool. It's just not going to happen. Like, the only way we get a player from Everton is if the player is available on a free. The only way we sign a player who plays for Everton is if that player goes to another club and then we sign them from that club. Everton will not sell a player to Liverpool. They just won't. And I can't blame them. Like, we're rivals. Like, why would you make your... Remember, when I say rivals, for us, it's a postcode rival. For us, it's a location rival. For them, it's everything. Like, and I'm not even saying that in a rude way. Like, the rivalry for Everton fans is bigger for them than it is for Liverpool fans, because we also have a rivalry with Manchester United, a rivalry with Arsenal, a rivalry with Man City, a rivalry with Chelsea, because we're all chasing, like, honours in Europe and domestically. We see them as location rivals. And again, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, because I like it, but it just is what it is. But for them, it's one of their biggest games, if not their biggest game of the season. Goodison Park, or their new stadium now, Liverpool Football Club. Like, that's their game of the season. That's the one that they see on the calendar, they bookmark that. So they're not going to sell a player to us. But at the same time, I'm going to be honest, I think he's good. I don't think he's anything special. I do think he's a good player. I think he's very tricky, very pacey. But I don't think there's anything special to him. I don't think this is the sort of player we'd be looking at. I don't see us making a move for him because, again, I just don't see us signing him. I don't even see us getting close. I don't even see negotiations happening. Even if the player were to push for a move, I still think Everton say no. So, I don't know, man. I don't see this one happen. I think this is a non-starter. So, that's just my opinion. I wanted to speak about another story as well here, guys. And that is to do with Luis Diaz and Richard Hughes. So, according to Jonathan Northcroft, and this is a quote from him: "The sale of Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich is projected as a major reason for the slump. But Diaz was eyeing a move 18 months ago, and it took all of Hughes' persuasive powers to convince the Colombian to stay for the 24-25 season." The reason I want to speak on this, guys, is because it's very easy to do hindsight. And again, I'm gonna hold my hands up, and I still maintain this. I didn't want us to lose Luis Diaz in the summer. I wanted us to keep Luis Diaz because he's a player that can play right, left, and centrally, all to a good level. Maybe not so much on the right as much, but left and centrally, we've seen it. He plays it to a very high level. And let's be real, we could have really done with him this season, especially when Isak or Ekitike have been out, and Gakpo's lack of consistency, Salah's lack of consistency, plus from a pressing standpoint, etc. Diaz would have been worth his weight in money. But for everyone saying he, was forced out of the club, or we didn't offer him the new deal, that's why, and because he was on crap money, that's why he wanted to leave, I think this kind of puts it to bed. And it's what I've been saying for a little while now. And again, I want to say I hold no malice towards Luis Diaz. I don't think he left in a disrespectful way at all. I actually think he left in a respectful way. I remember his message after we won the league, and he said some really nice things about the club, the city, the fans. But ultimately, his dad was always speaking about Barcelona and making a move. Big up yourself, Uncle Rods. Hope you and the family are well, brother. Big up Bruno as well in the chat. I see you, Bruno. He was speaking about Barcelona and speaking about it being his son's dream move. And look, we even know now that he tried to move to Manchester City, and the only reason that deal fell apart is because we also wanted Julian Alvarez in the deal, but Man City said no, so we walked away from the deal, and rightly so. But what I will say, and look, it's going to seem like I'm brown-nosing the club, but I think these are kind of common sense opinions here. If a player wants to leave and has made it clear that they want to leave, you're not going to offer that player a new contract because they've made it quite clear that they want to leave. But what you will do is you will make sure that player honors the season. You'll make sure you respect that player from your side. And then at the end of the summer, you sell said player, right? And that's exactly what we did. Luis Diaz was fantastic for us last season, and a major reason why we won the league. He was our second best attacker, in my opinion, behind Mo Salah. The summer came, Bayern Munich came in for him, we negotiated, he was respectful throughout the whole thing, wasn't coming out and doing anything crazy in the media. We sold him, he was respectful when he left, we were respectful to him, and football moves on. The whole thing that I think is wrong with the whole situation is that we just didn't find a replacement. And shout out to Slot Out 1234 who says Cal Indy said Slot wanted Diaz to stay, Hughes wanted to cash. I think Slot probably did want Diaz to stay, but at the same time, if you're Richard Hughes, you're like, he wants to leave. Why are we going to continue to keep a player against his will when he wants to leave? Again, my only frustration about the whole scenario is that we didn't replace him. That's the only hang up I have. That's the only frustration I have with the whole thing. We didn't replace Luis Diaz. If we had replaced Luis Diaz, let's say we had signed a Semenyo, let's say we had signed a Rodrigo, a Rafael Leao, or someone like that. Look, I'm not saying they would have done what Luis Diaz is doing at Bayern Munich, but we're not sitting here, in my opinions, going, look, we're stressing about the left-hand side because if Gakpo's not playing well, we can't play Rio because of the lack of experience. We're sitting there going, oh, okay, we can rotate these players. Oh, this player's actually started decent. And so is Gakpo because Gakpo's been able to get some rest and he's got some competition as well. So for me, I think it's something that's been blown out of proportion, and I hope we can kind of move on from it now. Shout out to Big Fist. Pause. Says Diaz was our best player. Some fans included you, Cal, was saying sell Diaz. That's why we are mud now. But it was more the fans that used Diaz as the scapegoat. Honestly, Big Fist, you've been following the channel for a while, so nothing but love, bro. But please, bro, find me where I said I wanted to sell Diaz, because I genuinely haven't. I think there has been a little rhetoric about me saying I wanted to sell Diaz going around. I've never once said I wanted to sell Diaz. I said I'd understand if the club sold him. I also said that if we sell him, we have to get a replacement. But I didn't actively want to sell him, bro. Like, I never once said I wanted to sell Diaz. Matt's never once said he wanted to sell Diaz. Drifty's never once wanted to sell Diaz. Like, have I been open to it? Yeah, but on the basis that we get a replacement, on the basis that I think he wanted to leave. I never wanted him to leave. Like, I never wanted him sold. So I don't know where this is coming from, bro, but it's definitely not coming from me. And yeah, I don't agree that he was our best player last season. He was very integral and important to us, but he wasn't our best player, in my opinion. Shout out to Slot Out 1234. It says, Cal, the article is a counteract to Indy for Diaz. Yeah, touched on that one as well, bro. But yeah, I don't know, man. I rate Diaz. I just think people are going a bit crazy with it because he started so well at Bayern Munich. But again, Bayern Munich they're a powerhouse. I watched the highlights for their game, not the weekend gone, the weekend before. They were 2-0 down and they came back and won the game 6-2. I'll be real with you, in the Premier League, that rarely happens. You can come back and win a game after being 2-0 down, but 6-2, I doubt it. It just shows the lack of strength in the Bundesliga and compared to Bayern Munich. Shout out to Liverpool Prophet. Big up yourself, bro. Hope you're well. Says, Cal, why do you think he was so desperate to leave? Honestly, I just think he wanted a change. Like, I think sometimes we overcomplicate these things. It was the same when Mane wanted to leave. Everyone kept on going, oh, Yono wants to leave because Salah got a new contract or because Salah's loved and he's not. Sometimes a player just wants a change of scenery, no? They are human beings. They might just want to try something new. I don't think there's much that really goes on that we're not savvy to. Like, I've not heard any stories about why Mane wanted to leave and the fact that this and that. Like, Mane and Klopp had a fantastic relationship. Mane, in my opinion, if he didn't leave, would have still been one of the main starters at Liverpool Football Club. So this notion that a player only wants to leave when something bad's happening, I think we kind of got to eliminate that. I just think Luis Diaz, I won't say he used us as a stepping stone because I think that would be the wrong way of it. I just think he came to Liverpool, he won a Premier League, competed for a league in the first season when he first got here, and in his opinion, probably just wanted to go to a different country and experience a different league and different life. I think if Barcelona had come in for him and had the money, I think he would have gone to Barcelona. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. Big up to LFC Network in the chat as well. Go and subscribe. Go and follow LFC Network on Instagram and also follow the Liverpool Prophet on YouTube as well. Look, people, I'm going to wrap up here because I'm going to head over to my other channel and do MMA Monday Live. Also, make sure you smash the like button on this video if you haven't already. Make sure you check out OK Jersey as well. We'll be back here at around 4 p.m. for the Great 8 show, so make sure you look out for that as well, people. Shout out to the Cop Chronicles. Big up yourself. Sean, hope you're well as well. People, smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Big up to each and every one of you who've watched and listened, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, people. We're back also for our Monday night live show at 9 or 9:30, so make sure you look out for that. And people, till we see you again, thank you all for watching and listening. Stay safe, stay blessed. Kopish out, people. Take care.